What's up, folks? Trip Smith here, and we're in Orange Beach, about to get started on another adventure. Got a couple new pieces of gear to try, a new anchor, and I'm actually going to be like for real fishing, hopefully catching something and grilling it and eating. But before we start on our adventure, just pulled to the boat ramp. There's some dudes unloading some pylons, and they're like, "Hey man, the weather's coming in," because it is gonna be bad weather. They asked me if I would tow these logs down just a little ways to their job site, so I think I'm gonna help them out with that. So stay tuned, got a little work to do. Alright, well that took a little while. That's alright, it was fun and interesting. You know, they do pay me $50, so why not do that? Alright, so now we're headed to camp and it started to rain on us. So, I was going to camp somewhere else, but since we're kind of delayed on time, I have a plan B, or I was actually planning on camping tomorrow night because I didn't think it was going to really rain today, but it is, so got a little change of plans, so we're going to cruise before it gets too dark. Oh, he did a Mickey, baby! Woo-hoo! I've got a putt button somewhere, hoping we can find some shelter, a little section under a bridge over here. Not exactly pretty. I mean, actually the water is very pretty. You know, it's nasty out here. But it's just not ideal. But I knew that coming into this. The forecast for these 3 days was like thunderstorms, thunderstorms, and thunderstorms. But I had no other time in my calendar to reschedule this. I didn't want to miss it. I had some things I had to do. So I just came anyway. Here we are. Here you are. Me and you together. Fighting this beach out here. Usually it's super beautiful and stuff out here. It's the pass right there. We're right here in Orange Beach. We're about to head right, can y'all see that? Right around this corner here, over to there. I don't know. I'd show on a map or something. So notice a little pattern. Once again, I'm the only boat who's out having an adventure today. It's a little chilly. To be honest with you, I'm a little wet, a little chilly. It's not summertime, y'all, and I'm in shorts. We got Ono Island over here off our port bow, and I think we have Perdido Key off our starboard side. And right here is the bridge to Ono Island. I think we're going to see if we can get up under there. Get out of this rain. I think it's legal. I think so. Yeah, that'll provide us a little bit of a protection. There's some lightning and stuff, so kind of off that way. Gets pretty good ways off that way. Okay, I gotta get the anchor out. I first gotta figure out how we're gonna anchor up. It'll take me a minute to figure this out. Alright, so the current situation is it's basically raining, but it's supposed to only rain for like another hour or so. You guys may not be able to tell it because the camera kind of lightens things up, but it's getting dark, so I'm basically just going to sit here till it kind of stops raining. I've got an anchor out at the bow, and I'm just kind of sitting here right now, but I'm going to put an anchor out from the stern and kind of pull us in between these two, the pylons, so we can kind of anchor right over here tonight. And I'll just set up the bivvy right here on the boat, and we'll call this home tonight. Well, y'all, the weather certainly isn't the best, but we're making the best of it. Well, it's almost 9 o'clock. Been laying here in the tent. It's good to get out of the wind, and fortunately the rain has stopped, but the wind is still cool. You know, temps are still a little bit low, but I've been laying here reading an awesome book. It's a book about intrepid voyages in small crafts, you know, kind of like a bunch of idiots out there doing, you know, stuff a lot more crazy than what I'm doing. But it's just one of my favorite books I read years ago, and I'm rereading it now. All right, I'm going to turn in. We'll see you all in the morning. Hope I sleep well. Good morning, folks. Well, I slept pretty well last night. Been up for a little while doing some reading this morning, and finally there's some light out there. So I'm going to go ahead and get up and get some warm clothes on because the temperature is still dropping to about 9 o'clock. It's going to be a low of like 52 today, and then it's going to start climbing a little after that. So I got to get some pants and some sleeves on. Fortunately, there's not really a good chance of rain today, but it's going to rain at like 2 a.m. or something tonight or tomorrow morning, so that's not good. Not too bad of a place to wake up, huh? There's a little breeze this morning, so it's kind of chilly. For those of you who haven't seen my setup before, this is my second time using this bivvy on the deck of the Kaio 173. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it works well. The only bad thing I can see so far is when it's raining, it's tough to get in there and just get everything settled and stuff. Other than that, it works pretty well. I mean, it really does. I sleep comfortably in there. Now, this thing, it's a freestanding bivvy, so you don't have to stake it down for it to stand correctly. All you have to do is have some sort of anchor point at the back and at the front. Everything else just kind of stands up on its own. So what I've done for the front anchor point, I just made a loop and went around the bow up there and attached it to the tent. And then I have one on the back here, and it just hooks to my little cargo net system that I'll show you guys. Now, whenever I'm laying in this thing, my head is toward the bow, so the bulk of my weight of my body is on the flat deck part. But I needed something to support my foot end here, so I made this cargo net, and it's, you know, kind of spans this little open space here. But I also have my cooler under there that's pretty much flush with the deck. I don't really need much to support my legs and stuff. I don't really put a lot of weight down there or anything, so it's kind of just a, you know, a little trampoline down there, so to speak. But there is a cooler there as well. So it really works pretty nicely, and it stows nicely too, this whole setup. Now on the inside, pretty basic in here. It's really just a small little tent, but I have my air mattress down here, and I just have my sleeping bag last night with my Outdoor Vitals sleeping bag liner. Then just a few other pieces of gear in here. Got some nice pockets up here to keep some small things, and got my lucid lantern down here used just to read and just all around lighting. It does pretty well inside. My books, a little dry box where I keep all my electronics for charging and things like that, and my pillow here, and that's pretty much it. One thing I appreciate about this bivvy is it's vented pretty well. Right here, you see this whole screen section is vented, and then down at my foot end, there's another screen section here too. So that's nice, especially on a night like last night where, you know, normally you might get condensation up in here, but being on the bow of the boat and pointed into the wind, I had a good little breeze through there that prevented any condensation from forming. Now on my last trip, I didn't have that luxury, and I had some condensation. So I'm learning ways to handle the condensation. So if I didn't have a breeze last night, I might have just, you know, kind of cracked my top layer here, my waterproof layer of the door, because you have a waterproof layer and you also have a bug net layer. So I would have just cracked it, and if I didn't have any rain in the forecast, I would have just left this sucker open and let it breathe really well, and you wouldn't get any condensation, or it would lessen the chances of you getting condensation. The cargo net's pretty basic. I sewed it myself with some webbing, and it works. I just, you know, kind of sewed it about the size I needed, maybe a little oversized, and then I put the PVC pipes in there to kind of stretched out a little bit because it was kind of sagging in the middle, and that helped that. And then I just, you know, attached it as best I could to whatever I had, and there you go. A tramp, or a floor, so to speak, for the tent was born. But I will say the cooler really helps for the actual, you know, when you roll over and stuff, when you actually put weight on something, the cooler helps for that. But then if you're just laying there, I mean, the cargo net is sufficient. So you really need both. There you have it, the whole system. Right there, broke it down. Doesn't take too long, especially once you do it a few times, get a little quicker. It took me a while to come up with the answer of what to do here. I had a few different ideas, like a folding type plywood table, and then a table made out of PVC that would break down. But then it just came to me, okay, if I can get a cargo net to stretch across there, that will store very easily. It won't get wet and stay wet, you know, dry easily, or if it does get wet and stay wet, it'll be fine. It's lightweight, so this was a good answer. All right, well, it's 7:30 now. The temperature is going to be dropping for the next hour and a half to like 52, and it's like, no, 58. It's like 67. I don't know. No, it's like 58 now. It's going to be dropping to 52. And there's also a small chance of rain in that time frame, so I think I'm going to, I don't know, sit here for a few more minutes. I'm going to eat because I didn't eat much last night. I just had a couple pieces of beef jerky, a little bag of beef jerky, and What was the other thing I had? I had some jalapeno cheese from a MRE, and I had something else. Or was that it? That might have been it. I didn't have much. It wasn't a great evening. Oh yeah, it was a little bag of pistachios I had last night too. Didn't bring breakfast foods. Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, I did. I'm just gonna start out with some sardines, like always, in water. We're gonna have some wild boar jerky. Then we'll do a Kind Bar and a cookies and cream West Bar. Also, one of the reasons I kind of want to stay put is just a little while ago we had a big fog bank roll through. Looks like it's clearing up now. I thought maybe since the tip was dropping, maybe the fog bank was coming in with it, so I needed to stick around. But it seems to be dissipating or moved away. Wild boar jerky. Meat from feral swine and pork. Hashtag you are what you eat. I have to agree with that to an extent. Pork jerky looks just like regular jerky. Tastes about the same too. Good. This is no MSG, no nitrites added, with an asterisk by it. And it says, except for those naturally occurring in celery juice powder. Okay. Here lately I've been wondering how to make like your own snack sticks and stuff like that without nitrites, or nitrates, nitrites. Maybe it's the celery juice powder that does it. Now I'm gonna look that up. I'd love to just make my own stuff. Cause I eat a lot of meat, but I do buy most of the meat, like the beef and pork and stuff that I eat, on sale. Never found sardines on sale though. But if I did, woo, I'd rack up. Got a dolphin passing through. 2 dolphins, multiple dolphins. It's always fun to see. I don't know if you guys can tell it, but it's looking dark back there. So I'm kind of glad I didn't pull out. I'm gonna check the radar and be sure that we're not gonna get hit with some rain. I mean, I'd like to be protected from it, especially if it's gonna be a short little shower. May as well stay put and try to stay dry. If it's gonna be ongoing all day, then may as well face it and suck it up and go. So someone just shared me a few fishing tips for a few spots around here to use my popping cork. So I think I may just do some fishing because I may be in a half decent spot. And I'm already here, so why not? So the rig I'm using is a popping cork with a jig head. I'm gonna have some gulp shrimp or paddle tails. I'm gonna try a few different artificial baits on there. I'm using this because I did some research on YouTube and they said it's a pretty simple rig to use and it's effective. So, let's see what we can do. I'm using the 3-inch New Penny Fleck. I've heard gulp is pretty good stuff. It's scented and all kind of good stuff, and like actually edible. Ooh. It's not real strong scented, so it's not like totally stinky. It's actually pretty decent. Here we go. Best way to hook this sucker. Not like that. I'm not really sure. Nope. I don't know. Maybe I should have went a little lower. I don't know. We'll see how it works. I have no idea really. I should have looked at that a little closer online. Oh, here goes nothing. Alright, I'm going to keep trying this around here for a little bit. We may move somewhere else. Alright, we didn't have any luck. The temps are still dropping. I think we can just flip our anchors, our stern and our bow anchor. Just going to kind of move on, hit a few spots here and there. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm really happy with how the anchor did. It set nice and quickly, and it held well. Really happy with it. Well, it appears that the sun finally decided to show up. So we tried another spot to fish for a little while. Just kind of anchored around some docks. Didn't get any bites or anything. One of the things I need to do, I need to go check on a potential campsite for a future trip. But I would like to catch some fish first. As I cruise towards the campsite, I'm going to see if we can find somewhere to stop and fish. Hopefully we can steer clear of stuff like that. That looks a little nasty. Alright, found us kind of a little cove, kind of out of the wind and stuff. We can find some grass bottom, and we'll see if we can catch some fish. Right, here we got some sort of a old barge wreck. Big old pelican sitting on it. Might be a good spot to put up. Lose our sunshine. One of the things I'm doing today is I'm scouting for a campsite for the skiff rally that's coming up in a few months. And I think I might have found the spot right back in here. I know at the time of the recording of this video, there's only 2 slots left out of 10. So there may or may not be gone by the time you're seeing this if you forgot about Skiff Rally or if you didn't know about Skiff Rally. But it's basically a subscriber trip, but everyone is going to be on skiffs or boats, and we're going to be camping down here around the Orange Beach area. So it was pretty important that I came down here and did some scouting and made sure that all my proposed campsites would work. And I think we're going to be good to go, you guys. It's going to be a good time. Can't wait to see all the captains and crew for the Skiff Rally. This area is probably a pretty popular hurricane hole, and there's a sailor that didn't quite make it. At some point, she sunk. But here's another one. It appears that it's just moored out here. I don't think they're actually, in the boat at anchor. I can tell because there's no jib or roller furler set up, and it just appears that it hasn't been used in a while. Decent amount of growth on the bottom, some sort of hole in the side. That was not the best thing. All right, well, it's been an hour of cold soaking. Let's see how this worked. Hour and 2 minutes. It's definitely not all the way rehydrated, but it's close enough. An hour and a half and I'd probably be good. This is the same chili from my last trip. ground beef, onions, bell peppers, tomatoes, chili powder, and chili sauce. It was definitely easy. Just pour the water in there and wait an hour. And I really like the bowl, or the jar, whatever. This is a Talenti gelato jar. I got it years ago, and I was like, I'm gonna save this. And I was keeping my tea in it. I was like, you know what? I need it, and it worked. I'm gonna finish this up, and then maybe the sun will come out according to the forecast, and we'll go try some like other grass flats or something. I don't know. We'll try and catch some fish some more. Well, the sun's not coming out, and it feels like it's getting a little bit colder. I don't know if the wind's shifting or picking up or something, but it's a little bit chillier. So instead of going to fish right this moment, we're gonna give it a little more time. We're gonna have ourselves another international snack goodie. You guys remember in the last video, the Try It Treats box, where all the snacks were from like Romania or Bulgaria or some Croatia, or yeah, maybe it was Croatia. I had some leftovers. Here's some Java cakes. I took them out of the box. It's supposed to have like an orange something to it. Okay, so it looks like a vanilla wafer with chocolate on the bottom and something in it. Mmm. Oh, super soft. Okay. Whoa, it's like super orangey. So it's like a really soft vanilla wafer with chocolate and like an orange jelly. Pretty good. It's not as good as the other stuff. Still a unique cookie texture. I may not eat all of these because this is mostly grains and I don't do grains. Fun to try nevertheless. All right, starting to rain. Got to get the old frog togs back out. These are probably a good 15 years old. I could probably use a new pair, huh? These do keep me nice and warm too, though, so. All right, I guess we'll just sit here and hopefully when this passes is when the sun's supposed to be here. Sun's supposed to be here in like 20 minutes. I don't know. Please, Lord Jesus, we need some sun. Sunshine. Maybe it's right over there, behind all that. Lasting a little longer than I had hoped, and raining a little bit harder than I had hoped. Of course, any rain at all would be harder than I had hoped. Hey, jeez, come on. All right, so the rain is thinking about letting up. I don't know, we got our fingers crossed. So I cruise over to another flat here, and it looks like we got a little bit of grass or something on the bottom. And I stuck a little anchor pin down in the sand, tied off. I don't know, see if we can get lucky around here. I am putting in a heck of a lot of effort. I mean, like more than I ever have to fish, and I'm enjoying it more than I ever have. I think one of the reasons for that is because I sat down, I did some research, and I kind of learned, okay, this is the way to do it. This is how you'll have some chance of success. This is what you need to use. You know, so. Because in the past, I've just kind of fished and just kind of almost knew I wasn't going to catch anything. But now I think I have a chance. So it's actually, you know, I'm a little bit motivated. All right, we're at our next stop. No, just some flats. Pretty sure it's a little grassy out there. Some docks around here. Out of the wind. I don't know. Try our luck again. We gotta have a little talk. So I'm using an app on my phone, a weather app, Overdrop, and it's saying like it was supposed to be sunny right now, but it's obviously not sunny. So I go and I check another weather app that I have on my phone, Wonderground, and it's a lot more accurate. So it's 85% chance of rain right now, Will. It's raining, so, all right. Now, the bad thing is, it says it's going to be raining most all night. It's like 80% or better until like 2 a.m. Then it only goes down to like 50% or something. It's tough. It's tough. Not sure what I'm going to do at this point. Oh, gosh. I need one of these big old fancy houses to stay in. That's what I need. Yeah, I mean, somebody be like, hey, Trip, come on over, man. I'd be like, I am on the way. This is almost miserable. And we hadn't caught anything, and I've tried so hard. I tried harder than I've ever tried. All right, let's talk about anchors for a minute. And in particular, how I have my anchor set up in this dry bag here with holes in it. Basically, this is one self-contained anchor system. You have the anchor, your chain, and your rod, or your rope or line to your anchor. On boats, you call ropes lines. On the anchor, you call what attaches to the anchor and goes to the boat, you call that the rod. R-O-D-E. And inside, we have my anchor. Now, this is a Cooper anchor. You guys may notice, this trip you had a blue Cooper anchor. Why do you have the black one now? Well, this is the one that I originally ordered, and it's one size bigger than the other one that, if you guys remember, wasn't holding very well when I did the motor break-in video. So after it wasn't holding very well, I got to looking at it, and I noticed there were two different labels on it. And one was the label to this anchor, and the other was the label to this smaller anchor, the one it actually was. Got on their website and realized that there was a mix-up, so I contacted the company, Cooper Anchors, said, hey, actually got the wrong anchor sent to me, and they said, where'd you buy it? I said, we're off Amazon. He said, oh, well, you didn't buy that from us. We have some vendors on there that are trying to sell our products. So they were super helpful. I actually talked to John Cooper, which is one of the owners of it, and he really helped me out. He sent me this anchor, and I returned the other one to Amazon, and I'm super happy with this one. It is working fantastically well, and I like it because it's only 3.3 pounds, I believe it is, but its holding power is super strong. But the most favorite thing I like about it is that it's like a poly, or nylon actually. So whenever it's in the boat, it's not banging around on stuff, and you know, if I do set it down, it's not scratching the boat. You know, if it sits somewhere, you know, it's not messing things up. It's not aluminum, or it's not stainless steel like a lot of anchors are. So I'm really, really loving this anchor. Attached to the anchor, I have some stainless steel chain. I don't think I have enough here. I have about 4 feet, and I think the chain's too big. So I'm going to be changing this out to a smaller diameter chain and also a longer length, probably about, I don't know, 12 feet, maybe 15 feet, because you know, when you anchor, you really want to stay there, because you never know when it may get bad. Then attached to my chain, I just have some line that I had laying around the house that I found this on the bottom of Merrick's Mill Pond at the first Rockadock. I think I found this out there. You guys remember the day when I was surfing behind the pontoon boat on my paddleboard? I found it that day. It was like sunk on the bottom. And I was like, oh look, a free anchor rope, or a free rope. So I grabbed it. This I am going to replace with a little bit larger rope, and a rope that is, you know, made for anchoring. This one I don't believe has much stretch. You want a rope that has a little bit of stretch with your anchor to act kind of as a shock absorber. And I just have this rope just stuffed down into this bag. And if you guys can see, as I pull it out, it's not getting tangled up. See, it just comes all the way out. And then I have holes in this dry bag that I just melted in there with a soldering gun. I wanted a good system that could keep my whole anchor rod and anchor in, and it'll be compact and not be banging around on stuff down in the anchor locker or down in any locker in the boat. Something I can just grab, throw out on the deck, and just be ready to deploy it. So this is what that is. Now you can get online, you can buy a dedicated anchor bag where they're like 50 to 80 to 120 bucks. Now this is just like a $10 dry bag that I had that I just burnt some holes in so that it could, you know, drain water and also maybe dry a little bit. I probably will go back and put some more holes in it because I wasn't sure how strong it was going to be, but this bag is still super strong and there's not a lot of weight and stuff in here. So I'll put some more holes in it and it'll ventilate even better. Now the great thing about this is it's easy to put your line in here. You just feed it into the bag however you want to. You can even stand up, push it down in there, but you just feed it in there willy-nilly and just random and totally confused, and that's how it doesn't get tangled. You shake the bag every once in a while, get it settled in case you have some bends that are sticking up. Just feed this rope all the way down in there, And once you get to your chain, you just drop your chain right on top of the rope. It weights it down, it packs it down, and you got your anchor. And luckily this anchor fits perfectly in this 10-liter accessories dry bag. And boom, there you have a complete anchor setup. It gets pretty compact. Isn't going to damage things down below as you're banging around on whatever adventure you're on, right? And if you want to, you can kind of clip this, and it essentially keeps everything in there. I really like this setup. I'm really lucky to have such a great anchor, really and truly, because your anchor is somewhere you want to spend money, because, you know, when you use your anchor, you want your boat to stay somewhere, and you really want it to stay somewhere, because sometimes you leave it unattended. Sometimes you go away from the boat. Maybe you're on shore, maybe you're eating, or maybe you're, you know, hiking a trail, or maybe you're off snorkeling somewhere where you don't want your boat to drift away. You want to have a good anchor with a good rode, with plenty of chain and plenty of good line to hold the boat there in whatever depth and bottom you have. I think someone's calling me. Ugh. If I can get to it quick enough. My wife. Hey, babe.
Hey, how's it going?
It's rainy and windy.
Is it making a good video, though?
I don't know. I sure hope so. I'm actually thinking about coming home today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've gotten everything done that I wanted to do, and I just checked a different weather app on my phone and realized that it's going to be raining all night. The other app was saying, you know, it wasn't going to be raining all night, and it was also saying it's going to be sunny right now, which it is the opposite of sunny. And
I think I would go with what the other one said.
I don't know if I'm going to go eat at Floribama first. I want to do that when I'm down here.
Yeah.
Well, I just thoroughly enjoyed a little bit of shelter from the weather, some firecracker shrimp and a bushwhacker over at the Floribama Yacht Club. That's just one of those places I always have to stop at. So the forecast is looking rough. It's going to be rain now until basically until I leave tomorrow. So I'm going to turn on the radio, something that hasn't been on in my last trip or this trip, because when it's not nice out, I don't want to hear the radio, or I don't know. I just had to be in a good mood to turn on the radio. So I'm about to crank it up and jam for a little bit. So I think I'm going to change plans, just go ahead and head out now. But take care of yourselves, folks. Get out there, and God bless. I'll see y'all in the next adventure, all right? Man, it's just, I'm ready for some good weather. Y'all say a prayer that I get some good weather in the next adventure. It's in like, I don't know, a few weeks. All right, love you. Bye.